A very good evening to viewers and listeners. I am Muhammad Mansour Mashi with Safalma News. The headlines. Federal Executive Council approves $8.5 million for the evacuation of Nigerians from Ukraine. Senate passes 2022 Appropriation Act Amendment bill seeking for funding of PMS subsidy. Federal government has presented a new proposal to ASU. On the international scene, Russian forces seized control of southern Ukrainian city Kherson. The news in details. The Federal Executive Council has approved the sum of $8.5 million, the evacuation of Nigerians stranded in Ukraine as a result of ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Sadiya Umar Faruk, and the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Zubair Dada, in a joint press briefing, explained that though more than 2,000 Nigerians, mostly students, have registered to be evacuated, the federal government had made provisions for 5,000 Nigerians who may be affected and willing to return to Nigeria, but are currently trapped.
We've held a series of interministerial meetings to see how best we can address this matter as quickly as possible. But again, as you would appreciate, there are issues of resources involved. And this is where Mr. President's involvement has been very helpful. And that has enabled us to conclude arrangements to actually dispatch 3 aircraft.
It's the memo on the protocol for identification, safe return, and rehabilitation of trafficked persons in Nigeria.
Senate has passed 2022 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill, which seeks, amongst other issues, provide for the funding of premium motor spirit subsidy for the fiscal year. The amendment seeks to restore the provisions made for various projects in 2022 budget, reinstate that 20-hour sector reform program, and 1.42 billion naira for the Ministry of Water Resources.
592,044 naira only for recurrent expenditures and for other matters connected there with 2022 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Appropriation to report back within 1 week.
The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate duplications of duties of some agencies of government to have consolidated gains recorded by Nigeria on World Index of Ease of Doing Business. This followed a motion filed by the House Chief Whip Muhammad Tahir Mungunu, which the House noted the need to review the function of about 1,500 agencies, departments, boards, parastatals, and corporations existing in the country. This with the view to eliminate bureaucratic bottlenecks and unnecessary clash of interest, which are counterproductive. Security agents in Funtua have commenced the arrest of Commercial Motorcycles and Tricycles Association (NATOMORAS) members over the violation of user reflective jackets and updating their particulars as directed by correspondent reports that those without the jacket were made to buy one at the zonal office of the association in Funtua. The state chairman of the association, Alhaji Abbati Umar, who was in Funtua to monitor the exercise, said the aim of the exercise was to enforce government directives, adding that proper announcement has been made for members to own the jacket, but according to him, majority deviated. He said Katsina state government introduced the jacket to enhance security by sanitizing the business of commercial motorcyclists in the state, adding that besides proper identification of members on transit, the activities will be more recognized. This news is coming to you from Safalma TV Radio Online. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for more details, or search us at www.safalmatvradio.com. The federal government has presented a new proposals to the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to address some of its demands. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngege, who described the proposals as more realistic and workable after meeting with representatives of these two sides. ASU on its part said it will not speak on the outcome until it consulted its members, but the chief mediator, Dr. Chris Ngege, felt positive, saying government has shown the level of implementation of the signed 2020 Memorandum of Understanding with ASU and presented new proposals in the review of conditions of service.
A lot of those items have been dealt with exhaustively, and some of them are work in progress. And we just have only one or two areas that are new.
A non-governmental organization, Safe Katsina Project, in collaboration with Murna Foundation, has organized a two-day workshop in Puntua on human rights and peace building to strengthen advocacy and curtail violence and unwanted. The project officer, Bello Ahmed, of activities on enlightenment, poverty alleviation, skill acquisition for women, among others. He said, Safe Space is a program exclusively introduced for women to discuss issues concerning women problems as well as interfaith dialogue to better understanding between members of different religious faith in the state. The Funtua Zonal Coordinator of the program, Lawal Garba Bakori, said 4 local government areas, Funtua, Luz and Musawa and Jibia, were selected for the workshop, adding that the participants of the workshop are traditional rulers, women groups, trade associations, and members of the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, NATO, among others. As the war between Russia and Ukraine entered the 7th day, Russian forces have seized control of the southern Ukrainian city Kherson. Similarly, the eastern city of Kharkiv has been under intense Russian artillery bombardment, and since Wednesday, the airborne troops have started landing around the city of Kharkiv. According to the mayor of Mariupol, there is mass casualties caused by Russian bombardment of the city, which led to hospitals admission surge as the siege of southern city intensified. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Federal Executive Council approves $8.5 million for the evacuation of Nigerians from Ukraine. Senate passes 2022 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill, seeking for funding of PMS subsidy. Federal government has presented a new proposal to ASU. On the international scene, Russian forces seized control of southern Ukrainian city Kherson. That ends Safalma News. Bye for now. Thanks for viewing and listening.